What I wish I knew before upgrading to Linux Mint 22.3. Thinking about upgrading to Linux Mint 22.3? Wait, don't hit that button yet. I'll walk you through the exact checks, backups, and tweaks I wish I'd done first so your upgrade is smooth, not a troubleshooting marathon. In this video, you'll get a short, practical pre-upgrade checklist, the critical driver and kernel pitfalls to watch for, and the exact commands and recovery steps to keep your system safe. Let's dive in. Quick overview. What is 22.3 and why this matters? Linux Mint 22.3, Zena, is a point release built on the 22.x base and includes refinements and updated packages. It's an LTS-style release intended to be stable for the long run. But as with any system upgrade, there are important compatibility and configuration questions to answer first. The single most important rule: snapshot plus backup. Make a full system snapshot and a file backup before you start. Timeshift creates a complete system snapshot you can roll back to. This is the safety net that avoids full reinstall nightmares. Use Timeshift RSYNC mode unless you're on BTRFS. Store the snapshot on a separate drive, and also copy your personal files and .dot files to an external disk or cloud. Now, checklist. Create Timeshift system snapshot, external drive. Backup /home, .dot files, browser profiles to external /cloud. Verify backups can be read. Update packages first. Sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. Install Linux headers, used later if rebuilding modules. Sudo apt install Linux headers $uname -r. List PPAs /apt/sources. ls/etc/apt/sources.list.d. Prepare your system. Tidy up and disable risky stuff. Before upgrading, remove or disable custom PPAs and unofficial repos. Third-party packages often cause dependency conflicts during a release upgrade. List the files in etc apt storage list and move any suspicious entries to a safe folder so they don't interfere. Also check for manual edits in etc, grub tweaks, fstab entries, and copy those files to your backup so you can restore or reapply them if they're overwritten. Driver and kernel compatibility, the real gotchas. Graphics drivers and out-of-tree kernel modules are the most frequent causes of a broken system after an upgrade. NVIDIA users in particular have reported black screens or missing displays when the kernel and proprietary driver become mismatched. Similarly, Wi-Fi adapters that rely on DKMS or out-of-tree modules can stop working if headers aren't present or modules aren't rebuilt. Practical steps. If you use proprietary NVIDIA drivers, open Driver Manager and note the current driver version. Consider switching to the recommended tested driver or keep a known good kernel available in Grub. If you rely on third-party modules, Wi-Fi, VPN, virtualization, ensure you have Linux headers uname-r installed so DKMS can rebuild modules after a kernel change. Keep a live USB or recovery medium handy in case you need to chroot and reinstall drivers. The official upgrade path. Use Update Manager. Linux Mint provides an integrated upgrade path through Update Manager. That's the safe option. After updating your current system fully and making a Timeshift snapshot, open Update Manager, edit, upgrade to Linux Mint 22.3 Zena, and follow the steps. This guided process handles package transitions and gives you release notes and known issues before committing. During the upgrade, what to watch for? Read the release notes and known issues screen carefully. If prompted about replacing config files, choose the safe option, keep current, unless you know why you changed them. Don't interrupt the process, but be prepared to use a live USB if the system fails to boot. Post-upgrade checklist. After rebooting, don't assume everything's fine. Validate essentials immediately. Display, audio, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and external drives. Run these quick checks. Now commands. Check for broken packages. Sudo apt-fix-broken install. Sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. Remove orphaned packages. Sudo apt auto remove. Verify kernel headers installed if needed for rebuilding. dpkg-l line grep linux-headers. Re-enable PPAs one by one and test the system after each to catch issues quickly. Recovery tips if things go wrong. If you hit a black screen, try switching to a TTY. Control-Alt-F2. Log in and check X, whale, and logs, or try reinstalling the NVIDIA driver from the comm line. If Wi-Fi disappeared after a kernel update, install matching kernel headers and reinstall the DKMS package for your adapter. And remember, Timeshift Snapshot equals instant rollback. Final recommendations and best practices. Always snapshot and backup before an OS upgrade. Remove or freeze PPAs beforehand. Keep a live USB and a backup kernel in Grub. Test critical hardware immediately after reboot. Read release notes. They often list known issues and workarounds. Upgrading can be painless if you prepare. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your hardware, GPU, Wi-Fi chipset, if you want me to show a step-by-step recovery for your exact setup. Safe upgrades!
Thanks for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for daily videos. Bye.